Okay, I got 1900. Let's see who's out there for this week's weekly nets. There's 6 IPS standing by. Echo 6, Echo 1, Alpha 1, 6, Adrian, you're on frequency. Okay, looks like it's going to be a quiet night. So there's 6 IPS still standing by. $19.03. No check-ins as yet. Nobody on Zoom. Is today Sunday, or has something happened that it's become a Monday? ZS6 IPS standing by. Hey, anybody else out there? Because nobody else has come up. ZS6 IPS still standing by. Okay, second last call for check-ins. ZS6 IPS. Okay, last call for check-ins. ZS6 IPS standing by. Okay, nothing else heard. In that case, I will just go ahead and work through what would be the normally weekly broadcast specifically for the listeners. And we will check at the end as to whether there's any other late check-ins. So greetings to one and all. As I say every single week, it is Sunday, the 27th of November, and the time now is 19:05. Those wishing to join this net using Zoom, I join the Zoom meeting as it is now open. If you do not have the Zoom link, please contact me on WhatsApp 082-859-2684, and I'll send you the link with the greatest of pleasure. We usually begin with the amateur radio check-ins on the Roodepoort repeater 145.625, and once completed, we continue with the net. This net is broadcast every Sunday evening from 1900 hours, and is broadcast on, as I said, selected amateur radio frequencies and on Zoom for the benefit of both radio amateurs and members of the public. Everyone is welcome to join the net and to participate either via either of these two platforms. I'd like to remind all amateur radio listeners who have not checked in that you do not need to be a member of any group or club to check in or to use the repeater or any of the amateur radio bands. All that is required from you is that you have a valid amateur radio license issued by ECRN. The license issued by ECRN grants you the right to use any of the amateur radio bands at any time, and there is no need to ask for or be granted permission from anyone else in order to do so. Also, be advised that this weekly net is not broadcast for the benefit of radio amateurs only or the disaster relief cert volunteers. This net is open to all members of the public as well, as they are more than welcome to join via Zoom. I therefore would like to encourage you all to share the weekly net Zoom link with everyone they know throughout South Africa. Z6 OPS returning after clearing the timeout timer. Now it's time, let's unpack the COVID-19 figures. This week we have 641,409,982 compared to last week's 637 million. This is again a total increase of 3.4 million new cases compared to the previous week's increase of 2.8. Therefore, we in actual fact have seen approximately 562,000 cases more than in the previous week's week-on-week total. The previous week it was 298,000, and the death toll now stands at 6,630,440 compared to the 6,620,724. This is an increase of 9,700 deaths compared to the previous week of 11,000. So we dropped about 1,300 cases week on week. I must remind the listeners that several countries have adjusted their testing and reporting protocols, and South Africa is one of those countries. South Africa, on the other hand, has seen a slight decrease in new cases for the week ending 18 November, which is week 45. This week, a total of 2,908 new cases were reported with 33 deaths compared to the previous week's total of 2,900. So that's actually an increase. And of course, 24 deaths on the previous week. Monkeypox has still been reported at 79,151, and what I noticed this evening is that they last updated on the 10th of November, so I don't know if they're in the process of no longer reporting on monkeypox. We'll have to monitor that and see what happens from next week. Okay, Z6 OPS returning. South Africa to date still has only reported 5 confirmed cases of monkeypox and have reported no deaths at all. So that there still remains to be good news. I see that one of our laboratories in South Africa has actually issued a report that they have identified a new variant of COVID-19, which they believe is going to be far more contagious than the Omicron variant was, and it's going to be a lot deadlier. Now, whether that's going to roll out worldwide or if it was only identified and detected in South Africa, that is something we'll have to wait and see exactly what the World Health Organization has to say about that. And then one of the countries, I think it was Italy, had a landslide, and several deaths were initially reported, but it turns out there weren't any. Okay, on that note, let's see if there are any late check-ins who wish to be added to the list this week. I can't say to the end of the list because it hasn't even started. ZS6 OPS standing by. Okay, no further check-ins. I'd like to thank all of those that listened this evening. And as the COVID-19 pandemic is still ongoing and is still infecting millions weekly worldwide, please remember to physically distance yourself and to wear a mask in order to protect others. People are still being infected. People that have had COVID-19 are being reinfected. So this is something that we need to be careful of, even though they have, in actual fact, received the vaccine as well. Also, remember to wear a mask in order to protect others. It's not there to protect you. It is there to protect others, especially the elderly, as they could lose their lives if they are infected with COVID-19. In any event, it's always best to sanitize or wash your hands on a regular basis. So for the week forward, be safe, be prepared, and of course, be happy. This is ZS6 OPS now releasing 145.625 for general use. Cheers all.